All-Americans, practice Pro Bowlers, the kind of guys who make all kinds of plays when there's nothing on the line. He wanted to see if he could get his guys to take some of the performances that they have on the practice field to this game right here. So far, they've done it 2 weeks in a row. Now let's see if they can do it 3.
Virginia trying to halt the 3-game losing streak. Georgia Tech trying to win 3 in a row. The kick will go into the end zone, and that's what will bring out quarterback Jeff Sims.
This young man is fun to watch on tape, folks. I'm just telling you, if you got the TV turned on, tell your friends to turn on the TV too. This young man is 6'4", 220 pounds. He can run like the wind. He's dealing with a little bit of an injury that he suffered at the end of overtime, or rather at the beginning of overtime last week. Let's just see what he can do as far as being that dual threat quarterback. But I'm telling you, he can throw the football as good as anyone in the country.
That's a quick throw on first down. Nate McCollum, the receiver, and a gain of 5. Tackle on the play by their all-everything linebacker and Atlanta native Nick Jackson. Georgia Tech going tempo. Another throw, that to Malachi Carter. Carter looking to make a man miss. And a gain of 4, bringing up a 3rd and short.
Just getting Jeff Sims into a rhythm, getting the ball out of his hands into the playmaker's hands. Look, they have fantastic weapons on the perimeter. Nate McCollum is the do-everything guy who lines up in the slot a lot of sides on the outside with Carter, E.J. Jenkins, Leo Blackburn. A lot of different weapons at their disposal on this offense on the perimeter.
False start. Offense number 54, 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Jordan Williams, the right tackle. Timothy Hedgepath, our referee tonight. We'll also be joined by Matt Austin on the broadcast for any rules discussions. So, Lewis, you go from a 3rd and 1 to a 3rd and 6.
Look, these are the kind of things, as a football team that's trying to sustain success, you have to eliminate. You have to eliminate those things that are self-inflicted.
Sims' time has to avoid the pressure, comes out of the pocket, throws it downfield. It's incomplete, and a good job by the Virginia defense. Malachi Carter, the intended receiver. 3, Anthony Johnson on the coverage. He's one of their big playmakers there on the outside for Virginia.
Yeah, he had, look, one of his best games of his career last week against Louisville. This is a guy who really turned it up for them as far as PBUs. Great coverage, great man-to-man coverage, great zone awareness. You saw it right there. Quarterback starting to scramble. You finish the play.
And a good news for Wahoo's fans. Billy Kemp back to receive. Pressure on the punt, able to get it away, and that's going to check and start rolling in favor of Virginia. Going to be spotted at the 42-yard line. Punt of 28. Lewis, this is where we bring out Brennan Armstrong, one of the more electric quarterbacks in the ACC. Again, a touchdown pass tonight. He's the all-time leading touchdown passer at Virginia. Very, very good athlete, just trying now to find the rhythm.
He absolutely is. And look, you could just hear the frustration in head coach Tony Elliott's voice when we talked to him as far as trying to get this offense rolling and get it on the same page. It's a much different offense than what Brennan ran last year, and they haven't found their comfort zone yet.
Armstrong to throw, first down, caught. Keytaon Thompson, we expect to call his name quite a bit. Typically wears number 99. He's at 19 tonight. Charlie Thomas on the tackle. And a run for Virginia on 2nd down. That's Paris Jones. And you talked about Tony Elliott and this offensive scheme. He wants to run the ball.
Absolutely.
Did so at Clemson, and he wants to establish it at Virginia.
Look, when you have an offensive line that's very young and green, like this offensive line is, and is really trying to find its footing, one of the best ways to get offensive linemen comfortable is let them put their hand on the ground and come off the football. And you'll see Paris Jones tonight, number 2. If he breaks into the open field, he's got speed to burn. He can take it the distance. It's a good start for them on their first carry.
So 3rd and 2, right up the middle. There goes Jones. Ball pops out. Question is whether or not Jones was down. Had the yardage for the first down. And this will be all on the replay of whether or not Jones was able to get down.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Lewis, that ball looks like it's coming out.
It was coming out. You see the linebacker Tatum, number 40. You see him, the Peanut Tillman punch. You hear everybody talk about it. The former Chicago Bears defensive back that made a name for himself doing that during his career in the NFL.
So LaMiles Brooks recovered the fumble. They are going to take a look at it on replay. While they do that, we'll step aside.
The previous play is under further review.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Ruling on the field, Lewis stands, fumbled Virginia, their 16th turnover of the year.
Direct correlation between turnover differential, Matt, and wins and losses, no matter what level of football you're talking about.
See if Georgia Tech can take advantage. They will ride Hassan Hall, the Louisville transfer, quite a bit tonight. He by far their best ball carrier.
Yeah, and let's go back to that turnover differential. Think about this, folks. Georgia Tech is +8 in turnover differential. That's 4th in the FBS. Virginia right now is 110th in turnover differential. They have been just absolutely killing themselves as far as giving other teams opportunities to score points. And tonight, that's just not a good start.
Gain of 2 for Hall, 2nd and 8. You see him take it right up the middle and a gain of 3. That'll bring up another 3rd and medium. Lewis, you're always intrigued coming out of a bye week when both teams are coming out of it. 11-day off, 11 days rest. You get healthy. If you're Tony Elliott, you get more time to install your system. If you're Georgia Tech, you get an opportunity for Brent Key to continue to plant his flag here in what he's trying to do.
Look, you see they're playing to their strengths. Hassan Hall is going to be a big part of this offense. The quarterback, though, really, Jeff Sims is really going to be what drives the bus here.
Pressure coming from Virginia, rather. Empty backfield and a strike by Sims. Malachi Carter brings it down, and that's the arm strength you're talking about. Virginia brought the pressure. Sims stayed in the pocket and a gain of 20.
You just see how calm he is, and then Malachi Carter just runs an intermediate level crosser across the field, and you're just going to see it here coming from from left to right, rather. And look how he puts it in a spot where Malachi can then catch and run. Those are the kind of things that just show you just how much more comfortable Jeff is getting as the season progressed.
Chip Long happy Carter back this week. That's Dante Smith, the ball carrier, and a gain of 4. Anthony Johnson brings him down.
That's just a good, tough run. They have 3 really good backs on this football team between Hassan Hall, Dante Smith, and Dylan McDuffie that they can roll through there. And this offensive line, while talented on the interior, it's just green again. Not a whole lot of experience. How do you get these guys comfortable? Run the football.
Again, pressure. Again, up the middle. Solid run by Smith. First down, Georgia Tech. Antonio Clary missed the tackle right in the middle of the field. Netted a gain of 10.
This is a nice job again by the interior of the Georgia Tech offensive line. Getting a hat on a hat, bodies on bodies, and you're just going to see it here. Look at the left guard, Pierre Quick. Watch his block at the point of attack. You see, just kind of double teams, kicks out. You get one-on-one in the hole, you got to make it defend. This is a nice methodical drive on the part of Georgia Tech. Making sure that the offensive line can get settled in. Some quick screens early on in the first drive for Jeff Sims to get comfortable, and then he hits Malachi Carter across the middle. Just nice balance.
Look, Brent Key was an offensive lineman here. You know they're going to get that running game going, and they do again with Smith spelling Hall. And a gain of 6, that's going to be a 3rd and short. But offensive line running their head coach, that's an attitude, that's a mentality. Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Brent Key being a former offensive lineman. Look at the left side of the offensive line here, at the movement that they get at the point of attack. I mean, that's what you're talking about as far as getting guys comfortable. Robinson, Quick, just taking people and displacing them off the line of scrimmage. This is about attitude. This is about establishing who they want to be now.
Smith on the drive, 4 carries, 21 yards. They give it to him on 3rd and short. He'll have enough. First down. It'll be goal to go from Georgia Tech. Nick Jackson brings him down.
One of the things you'll see happen as far as running backs are concerned, they will just ride the hot hand. And right now, Dante Smith is showing that he deserves more reps and more touches, although Hassan Hall will get his too. It's a nice problem to have especially when your offensive line is coming off the ball like Georgia Tech is.
See if they use the quarterback to run near the goal line. No, they give to Smith again. Jackson's been active already.
Smith carried the football. Tackle made by Nick Jackson. 2-yard gain on the play. Second down and goal. Ball on
You need players like Nick Jackson to show up in this game and make plays against the run and start to shut some of this down, because I tell you, the quickest way to demoralize a football team is run the football down their throat. And for a team like Virginia that's searching for confidence, this is not the way you want the game to start.
Had the one big pass to Carter on the drive. Sims out of the pocket. That's going to be a good job by the Virginia defense after a gain of 1. Nice job closing on the ball carrier there. Dylan Leonard was on the reception. Nick Jackson get on the tackle, so now 3rd and goal.
No gain on the play.
One of the things that Virginia's defensive line did right there is make sure they try and get Jeff Sims pulled up on the perimeter. Don't let him just throw the football uncontested out there on the edge where he can use his dual threat capabilities.
So big play here early. 3rd and goal for Georgia Tech. Sims out of the shotgun. Keeps his eyes downfield to the end zone. It is incomplete, or was it picked off? That was picked off by Cohen King. The pass tipped by Malachi Carter, and now we have another turnover that ends a drive, and what a play by the Virginia defense to stop the points for Georgia Tech.
What a nice play by
Lewis Reddick, Matt Berry back with you. Harry Lyles down on the field. Pair of turnovers now for both Georgia Tech and Virginia. Brennan Armstrong with the ball, 2nd time tonight. That's the freshman. Xavier Brown out of the backfield. The player they like his development. That's Ace Ely, a player we will call a lot tonight.
Look, they have 2 of the very best inside linebackers in college football, and Charlie Thomas and Ace Ely. You're right, number 1, number 2.
LaMiles Brooks recovered the fumble. LaMiles Brooks is going to score. "37 yards. How about that rambling wreck?" And Georgia Tech strikes first.
Tips and overthrows, Matt. Tips and overthrows. Many a defensive back has made a lot of money at the NFL level getting tips and overthrows, and it also applies to college football. When that ball is up in the air, you got to be breaking hard on the throw. LaMiles Brooks did an excellent job. KJ Wallace, great job in coverage on the slot, getting his hand in there. That's how team defense works. That's how the turnover differential goes in your favor. That's how you win football games.
Keytaon Thomas was the intended receiver. Gavin Stewart on for the extra point. Lewis, 2 possessions. Stewart missed the extra point. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for Virginia.
It's as good as it gets, man. This is what you want. It's just a quick throw trying to hit the slant. You see the ball get tipped up in the air. LaMiles Brooks, once you get the ball in your hands, you turn it to a running back, son. Take it to the house. Great job, Georgia Tech.
Lewis already 2 turnovers for Georgia Tech. One of them led to a touchdown.
Yeah, look, KJ Wallace, the nickel corner. You see him here against Keytaon Thompson, and you see the right hand just enough to distract Keytaon from getting a good clean grab on the football. That's as good as you can play when you're playing outside leverage, single safety, middle coverage, help in the middle of the field. That's how you draw it up. And that has been the story of Virginia's offense all year long. The drops, tip passes, inaccurate throws. You don't get good enough protection. The quarterback's not able to settle his feet. It's the same thing over and over and over again with this football team. What is this, 5 plays now?
5 plays,
2 turnovers?
Yep.
I mean, that's just unacceptable.
And he's going to need to go right back to Keytaon Thompson because he's one of his bigger play receivers. Between him, Dontayvion Wicks, Billy Kemp is back. They're going to have to find something
They've got weapons, Matt. They've got weapons on the perimeter. And this team put up a ton of yardage against this Georgia Tech defense just a year ago.
So what can Brennan Armstrong get going? Again, he's going to go over the middle. That's Lavelle Davis, the big receiver, and a big play for the Hoos. That's a good way to start the drive. Clayton Powell-Lee pushes out Davis. That's a gain of 31.
But that's a nice job of running a shallow crosser against a zone-type coverage, just putting it on him. ACC doesn't see the crosser coming across the field. He gets out-leveraged out on the perimeter. That's how you get your quarterback comfortable.
One play, Georgia Tech territory. Paris Jones off the right side. And a gain of 4.
What I like that I'm seeing out of Virginia so far is this offensive line, this young offensive line is coming off the football. Like even on the play earlier in the game where Paris Jones fumbled the football, they are moving the line of scrimmage.
Nothing doing there. Good play by the Georgia Tech defense. Miles Sims first to get Paris Jones in a small gain, bringing up 3rd down.
This is where Brennan Armstrong has to be comfortable, has to be able to get through his reads quickly, find his playmakers. The line needs to protect. This is where you really start to see just how far along this offense has come.
Just shy of 35% 3rd down conversion for Virginia on the season. Ball spotted at the 40. Armstrong over the middle. That's Keytaon Thompson. It was the same play that got tipped for a pick. KJ Wallace on the coverage. Virginia 15 yards and a 1st down.
Just a little bunch route combination where Keytaon starts as number 3 in the bunch. He's just going to come off the line of scrimmage, take a hot step, and then come inside on a slant, following a shallow cross that clears it out for him. Typical route that you see run on Sundays in the NFL. You see it run in these pro-style systems in college. Perfect execution.
Fresh bodies for the defensive front for Georgia Tech. And this really a good answer by how the Virginia offense has started to move the ball back at the 25 of Georgia Tech. Nothing doing up the middle. KJ Wallace, first man there.
Better job at the point of attack by Georgia Tech. You saw Keytaon White, the defensive end, in there holding the point of attack. And KJ Wallace, who had the nice coverage on Keytaon Thompson when on the pick 6. Very active nickel corner. Great cover skills, aggressive, will tackle, can blitz. Very integral part of this Georgia Tech defense.
Again, Brennan Armstrong just 1 touchdown pass shy of the school record. Won't happen here because he gives the ball to Jones. And again, that Jackets defense is right there. Keytaon White.
Well, Keytaon White is one of the best athletes on this football team. Really one of the best athletes in the country as a defensive end. At 6'5", 286 pounds. Look, he was on Bruce Feldman's freak list that he likes to put out. This is a guy who has a 32-inch vertical, can bench 225 38 times, has been clocked at over 20 miles an hour on the GPS. He's got it all now, and he needs to play big tonight.
Receivers get tangled up, intended for Thompson. They're going to throw the flag there on KJ Wallace. And that'll be a 1st down for Virginia. Looked like it could have been incidental contact, Lewis, but they're going to throw the flag.
Well, you can see clearly Tony Elliott has
pass interference.
Identified.
Defense number 16. Automatic 1st down at the spot of the foul.
He's identified what matchup he wants to try to exploit because of the size differential. You can just see their feet get tangled up. You know, Keytaon Thompson has a major size advantage at 6'5", 216 pounds over Wallace, who just stands 5'11". So they're trying to exploit that in the middle of the field.
Armstrong. Again flagged on the play, again intended for Keytaon. They like that advantage size-wise. LaMiles Brooks on the coverage between Keytaon Thompson and Lavelle Davis. They've got some big ball catchers.
Yeah, there he's just number 3 in the trips.
Defense number 20.
You see it here on the replay. The safety's playing a man-to-man in the deep part of the field on that 7 route, a corner route to the back pylon of the end zone. You don't have to run into the guy. Just stay with proper leverage and run with him, play the ball.
The give to the freshman Brown. Good job by Georgia Tech. That's White. The transfer from ODU. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Look, again, this is a guy, man. Keytaon White, a heck of an athlete. He has got NFL caliber measurables. He's a guy who you figure could play in a 3-4 defense as a defensive end. He could play at defensive end in a 4-3. He could probably play outside linebacker in the 34 as well. He's just got great athletic ability, length, strength. He's got it all.
Loss of 2. Again, the run up the middle. And they're going to mark him just short. That was Brown. Bring it up inside 3rd and goal from the 1.
I like this response from Virginia. I really do. Brennan Armstrong, I like the fact that he's going to the people who he knows he can trust and depend on as far as throwing the football. Tony Elliott has found some matchups that he wants to try and exploit, in particular with Thompson inside at the slot because of his size advantage. And I like the physicality they're running the football with between the tackles.
9th play of the drive, 3rd and goal. Brown splits out of the backfield. Armstrong's going to keep it himself, and Brennan Armstrong is going to score. What an answer by Virginia. 9 plays, 75 yards. They take off just under 5 minutes, and they're an extra point away, Lewis, from taking the lead 7-6.
I mean, this is just a nice play call. Nice ball handling on the part of Brennan Armstrong to get the defense flowing to its left, the offensive right. And then him just being able to then just take it upfield. He gets one-on-one with Ace Ely in the hole, puts his shoulder down, and gets the ball in the end zone. Great response on the part of the Cavaliers.
Extra point is good. Virginia has the lead. Let's check back in studio with Kevin Connors.
And, Maddie, a full menu of second-screen viewing options tonight. We've got first place on the line in the Sun Belt West over on ESPNU. Troy versus South Alabama. Terrific high school football over on ESPN2. Allen, Texas, the alma mater of Kyler Murray, taking on Geyer, Texas. And, Matt, on ESPN Plus, Devils and Islanders in the first period right now. Maddie, hockey season in full swing.
Kevin Connors, we have it all, don't we? College football, NFL, NHL, NBA. I'm sure pickleball's out there somewhere. Got the playoffs, baseball, Aaron Judge, all of it.
And you see the exchange right there between Tony Elliott and Brennan Armstrong on the sideline. That's the kind of interaction and the kind of body language you want to see. Okay, you see Tony Elliott congratulating him, kind of telling him, hey, look, that's how you go ahead and respond to adversity. That's how you drive your football team down the field. Let's get it to our playmakers, not shoot ourselves in the foot here and just kill ourselves on these drives as far as our momentum is concerned, and that's how you punch it in the end zone.
It is a different scheme. You want your quarterback who set all kinds of records to get comfortable with it. Saturday on ABC and the ESPN app. We start with number 4, Team Syracuse in Death Valley, squared off against number 5, Clemson at noon Eastern. Then number 20, Texas, takes on number 11, Oklahoma State in the Big 12 Saturday night football game. Penn State, man, they got to bounce back after getting thumped by Michigan. They got row the boat at 7:30 Eastern on ABC. No points offensively yet from Georgia Tech. They had the pick 6. Sims, pump fake, first down. Keeps his eyes downfield. That is a good throw.
Absolute dart.
Nate McCollum, the receiver, for 18.
Just a nice subtle movement to his right in the pocket. No panic, no stress. Just watch him here. Just watch him. You see him pump fake outside. Just move to his right a little bit and get it up and down over the corner to McCollum coming across the field. Doesn't get any better than that.
Little misdirection of Malik Rutherford. Rutherford hits the outside. Looked like he had some yardage, but Jonas Sanker there quickly after just a gain of 4.
It's a nice job of running that down inside out by Sanker, who had a heck of a game last week against Louisville, was all over the field, making big-time plays, solid tackler, plays that nickel position for Virginia that they call the spur position. Everyone has a catchy name for the nickel guy.
They do.
Spur, spear, make it sound like it's real dramatic. You're just the 5th DB, man, but you play a big role.
Rutherford again. Virginia again right there. That's Ogunloye on the tackle after a loss of 3. Carlos Ukanme Ogunloye had a nice game a week ago. He's there again today.
That's number 1. That's great name pronunciation, Matt.
Appreciate
Fantastic.
you.
Number 2, they're running to the rock here on defense. You can see this team is playing with a little bit of confidence now. Look much different than they have over the past couple of weeks.
Down to 30 seconds here in the first quarter. Play clock at 15, so we will have one more play. Empty backfield for Sims, 3rd and long. Pressure comes. Sims sacked. How about Nick Jackson. You could see him coming from a mile away. He was untouched. And now the momentum here at the end of the first quarter, Lewis, has swung towards Virginia.
Yeah, Jeff Sims has to get that ball out of his hand. He had Malachi Carter spotting up over the middle of the formation. He had a free runner off the edge with Nick Jackson. You just got to get that ball out of your hand. You just got to pull the pin. You're going to see Malachi Carter coming to your screen right there over the ball. Just get the ball out of your hands. Don't take the unnecessary hit. Don't take a tackle, take a sack. But give Virginia credit. They have responded in a nice way so far, and they're leading here 7-6 in a game that looked like it could have got away from them early, Matt.
Start of the second quarter, Virginia up 7-6, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak on the season. Just held Georgia Tech on 3rd and long. Sacked Jeff Sims, Shanahan to punt. Billy Kemp deep to receive. And it was tipped. Virginia's special teams got there. That was Chase Chalmers, and that's been an issue for Georgia Tech this season, Lewis.
Yeah, look, they have had 4 punts blocked already. Brent Key said one of the first things he did when he got the job was go and try and get this phase of the game settled, because what they were doing was totally unacceptable. And you saw there, Virginia ran 10 up, meaning 10 guys on the line of scrimmage, 1 guy back deep, and you're just going to see it. They turn an inside rusher free. The punter has to know, given what the issues have been with protection, he has to speed up his pace, shorten down his steps, and get that ball out of there. Because those are the kind of things that have led to disaster so far for Georgia Tech.
Having said that, it still was a punt to 40, but you know, Brent Key's not going to look at it that way, as Armstrong had Billy Kemp open, underthrew him. And Lewis, this looks a lot like Virginia that we've seen shotgun, spread out, empty backfield that we were used to seeing perhaps a year ago.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sure they're trying to find a happy medium for Brennan as far as what makes him feel most comfortable in the pocket. But I can tell you this, clean pocket throw, and you have Billy Kemp coming across the field with could have been a huge play. You have to hit that throw. That's not on scheme. That's not on Tony Elliott. That's on not on anything.
Oh, the big fella. Zeke Biggers. He had the paws on it, and Lewis, we were inches from a thick 6.
We sure were. And I'll tell you what, look, this has been another issue for Brennan Armstrong. Tip passes at the line. Watch his release. Watch his mechanics. Look how the ball, it comes out low. He brings it down. It's a wind-up type of delivery. Georgia Tech said they would make a point of emphasis this week to make sure that they get their hands up at the line of scrimmage. And this has been a problem for them all year long.
See if Georgia Tech brings pressure. Jones in the backfield, snap a little low. Armstrong looking left. Incomplete, intended for Dontayvion Wicks. But they're going to get a roughing the passer.
Automatic first down.
Daquan Dowse, the guilty party. And that'll move it for Virginia.
Those crucial potential change of possession downs, you want to get off the field. You don't want to make mistakes and give a quarterback like this more chances at it. There you see Dowse with the hit, maybe up around the head. You know they're always going to protect quarterbacks. You just want to get off the field in that kind of situation.
Brennan Armstrong looking to take a shot. What an interception by Zamari Walton. Intended for Demick Starling, but again, that Ramblin' Wreck secondary coming up with the big turnover. Walton, what an absolute play.
But just watch him here. Man-to-man coverage. You see him offhand jam and then run and pin the wide receiver to the sideline. That's what's called being in phase with the wide receiver. Just lean into him, push him into the boundary, track the football, turn into the wide receiver, and finish. That is textbook. That is how you snuff out a drive and give your offense a chance to get back on the field. Spectacular play by Zamari Walton. It doesn't get any better than that.
Armstrong came into the game 7 interceptions, already thrown 2 tonight. That the 3rd turnover for the Hoos. Here comes Sims and Hall. Hassan Hall, nothing doing on first down. It's James Jackson, first player there.
Now, if you're Virginia on the defensive side, you want to keep them pinned down in here in their own territory, force them to punt. Maybe you can get a punt block and really get some good field position. Who knows, maybe even a touchdown. And if you're Georgia Tech and you're Jeff Sims, you got to get this ball out of here and get some momentum going for your offense.
Hall's going to try to do that, tries to hurdle the defender. Nothing going because Cam Butler wasn't fooled by the hurdle. And Lewis, if you're looking at this game already offensively through the first quarter, Virginia is the team that's had the rhythm, aside from Georgia Tech's one possession where they were able to run the ball down the field that netted in nothing.
Yeah, it's the turnovers, though. It's the turnovers, fumbles, interceptions. It's the kind of thing that right now, look, they're stopping themselves, which has really been their story, whether it be interceptions, drop passes, fumbles. That's been the story of Virginia's offensive season so far.
Sims has space to run. He should just take it, and he does. First down. Had all kinds of room there in the corner. Anthony Johnson chased him out. That'll be 5 for Sims. That'll be a first down. As you said, get it out of there, and he did.
Yeah, that's smart on his part. Keep his eyes down the field. Don't subject yourself to taking any kind of shots that can knock you out of this game. You already come into this game a little bit gimpy based off of what happened last week or the last time that they played, and you just don't want to. You just want to stay in the fight all game.
They were looking for a screen. Virginia did a good job to read it. Sims did what he could. Ball pops out.
I think his knee was down, but.
And you see him slow to get up. He had the ankle last week.
By the defense. First down.
So at least on the field, it's been called a fumble. King was there to recover it. Let's have another look.
It looked like his knee was down when looking at it live.
So Aaron Falmouy is the one that forced it. I'm with you, Lewis. I think the knee was down. We're not the review officials.
We'll see what happens here.
We'll let them do it. We'll come back. Okay, so the call on the field was reversed. Sims was ruled down, so it will remain Georgia Tech ball. Second down. I want to bring in our rules official, Matt Austin, here in a moment. We'll let this play go here, second and long.
Yeah, with the runners going to the ground
prior to. Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, it was very close on whether the knee was down before the ball came loose, but if you look closely, you can see the quarterback's got the hand underneath the ball. So the ball didn't come loose until his hand hit. So knee and hand hit about the same time. He controlled it all the way to the ground. I think this was a good overturn.
Matt, thank you. Lewis agrees.
Yeah, I absolutely do, Matt. Great job. Great job. Saw it exactly the same way. Well, this is a crucial down here. Back in your own territory on the plus 31, 32-yard line for Jeff Sims. Let's just see what he can do as far as getting this ball out.
That's just a misread from top to bottom. He was looking for E.J. Jenkins. There was two men there, Anthony Johnson. And again, I mentioned the Georgia Tech offense went down the field, but then they had an interception in the end zone. They haven't been able to do much here through one quarter and about 3 minutes out of the second.
Well, Anthony Johnson has been on his game, and he was sitting on that route by E.J. Jenkins, just anticipating him coming backside to the one-on-one coverage where he was. I don't know if Anthony Johnson is the guy you want to try right now with the way he has been playing recently. It's a good job by Virginia's defense.
Remember, Shanahan's last punt was tipped. That one clean. Crowd cheers. It was a bomb to Billy Kemp. He's going to fair catch it at the 15-yard line. Prior to the game, both coaches kind enough to be mic'd up.
Let's go, man. Make plays, baby. Make plays. Make plays. Let's go. Let's go, D-line. Let's go. Body blows. Let's go all night. All night.
Controlled aggression now. I know you're excited. Control it. All right, under control. Make plays all night long. You got me? Let's go, baby. Under the bright lights, national TV, only show in town watching you. And they want to see what the second half of the season going to look like for these Cavaliers.
Yes, sir.
All right, hey, they not going to lay down. But let's go take it. This is our land tonight. Hey, we possess this tonight. Let's get ready to go. Here we go, 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 here we go. Hey, we're going to win on three. 1, 2, 3. Hustle up, hustle up, hustle up, hustle up. Hustle up, hustle up.
Thanks to both coaches there on first down. Flag on the play.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Offense number 78. Penalties enforced half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
That's Justice Johnson, the center. And And this is an offensive line, Lewis. Not a lot of experience. They use a 3-man rotation at tackle. They had a couple of guys transfer out, one to Michigan, one to USC. They didn't have any starts between this group coming into the season.
Yeah, and so far, look, there's only one guy, John Paul Flores, who has more than 10 starts in his career. So this is a very young offensive line that doesn't have a lot of experience, that is trying to learn on the fly and gel together. And there's been a lot of movement, Matt, in and out of the lineup, whether it be due to Tony Elliott trying to find the right combination, injury, just changeover from 2021 to 2022. A lot of things that can really, really just kind of cause your offense to not be as efficient as you want it to be.
So motion in, play clock under 10. Armstrong pressured, able to get out of it. Here goes Brennan Armstrong, and a nice job by him to get something. He's got that in his repertoire, able to run. Charlie Thomas brings him down after 3.
That's the first time we've really called Charlie Thomas's name tonight. That's just good recognition and reaction on his part. Seeing Brennan Armstrong break the line of scrimmage and making a short tackle in the open field. Now you got 3rd and long. If you're Georgia Tech, you got to get off the field here. No penalties, get off the field.
Quickly out of the backfield, defenders there. Great job on the wrap-up. Xavier Brown brought down by Brooks, who continues to have a game. And they are going to force that punt. Brooks has been all over the field.
He sure has. Look, this safety group for Georgia Tech has been productive all year long. You're going to see LaMiles Brooks just come out of the deep part of the field and just make the tackle in the open field against the runner of the quality of Xavier Brown. That is not easy to do when you're closing that much distance.
So Daniel Sparks from his end zone. McCollum deep. Makes the first 2 men miss. Makes the 3rd. That was an exciting short punt return after the spin. Gain of 3. So can Jeff Sims and this Georgia Tech offense get it going? Another penalty flag, though, before we step aside to break.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 33. 10-yard penalty will be enforced at the end of the kick. First down.
All right, so we've had one of these penalty games before. I don't think we're headed that direction yet, but we're close. Georgia Tech ball after this. Might be the best individual performance we've seen all year out of Izzy against Virginia Tech.
320 yards. Are you kidding me?
They've had a couple running backs play at Pitt.
Yeah, dude.
Good job holding the pressure for Sims, giving him time to hit the shot downfield, intended for Jenkins. Leo Blackburn. Crowd wanted a penalty. Anthony Johnson on the cover, didn't get it.
That's a missed call. That's just a missed call. As good as Anthony Johnson has been playing, he runs right up his back. That's an easy call. That's just a missed call on the part of the officials.
Matt Austin?
Yeah, I agree. To me, the key is he's not playing the football, and he does make contact with the receiver before the ball gets there, so that should be a foul for not playing the ball.
And again, the Georgia Tech running game can't get going. Give a lot of credit to Virginia. Michael Deotta and Nick Jackson having a heck of a homecoming as Jackson.
Oh, that's a nice job by Deotta of defeating the block, staying square. Just watch him come off the ball here. See him playing the 3 technique, outside shade of the guard. He comes inside with the arm over, and just look at him be able to stay square and hold his gap and play with gap integrity, then change direction and make the tackle. That's how you draw it up.
And the pressure again, Sims intended for Nate McCollum, and again that Georgia Tech offense stalls. Cam Butler provided the coverage. The crowd still giving it to the officials for no PI.
You know, give Jeff Sims credit for standing in there and trying to hit that deep crossing route. But when you have pressure in your face like that, and this defensive line is playing like Virginia's is right now, that's a tough throw to complete. This is nice team defense on the part of Virginia. They should be on their side of the 50 right now, given that PI that was missed. But the defensive line has come to play.
All right, so Shanahan, another clean punt to Billy Kemp. You can hear it through the microphones. Crowd's not happy. Well, they look happy there on the varsity. What a legendary eatery here in downtown Atlanta. Get you some grease. Get you some offense here. Paris Jones on the carry. From more on Paris, down to Harry.
I spoke with running back Paris Jones earlier this week. He said one of the big changes that Tony Elliott has brought is specific positional practice reps, things that you're going to be doing in the game. He also added that they're just now beginning to trust the scheme and what they want them to do offensively.
Harry, thank you. Armstrong rolling out to his strong side left arm. Keytaon Thompson and Lewis, aside from the touchdown drive, it was 4 drives, 11 plays, 3 turnovers, and a punt. Offense kind of stagnant. That a nice play getting Armstrong out of the pocket.
It's real nice. Look, you have the tight end coming across the formation, get Armstrong out on the perimeter. Keytaon Thompson just runs a little 7 route. They have a little 3-level flood, short, intermediate, and deep to the strong side, and he just puts it on him. That's a good play call, good execution.
Here comes the pressure. Armstrong stands in there, delivers it to Dontayvion Wicks. Wicks still on his feet. Could this be the record for Brennan Armstrong? What an individual effort by Dontayvion Wicks.
A spectacular job of Wicks staying in bounds. Armstrong under pressure, delivers it on the money, and then Wicks just goes to work. You can see it right here, Ely coming off the corner. He puts it over top of Charlie Thompson. You see him just towing the sideline, cut back across the field. What a great individual effort on the part of Wicks. And Brennan Armstrong standing in there and delivering a perfect ball, getting the ball up and down with touch. That's the Brennan Armstrong people expect to see.
With that touchdown pass, now 57 in his career after a missed extra point from Will Bettridge. 57 career passing touchdowns. That is the most in Virginia history. Got to give a game ball for Wicks for that one. What a great individual effort.
Hey, look, that's what they expect Brennan Armstrong to do. That's how he has been throughout his career. Look, last year in this football game, Brennan Armstrong against Georgia Tech just went absolutely nuts. 495 yards of total offense in that game, 4 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing TDs. They expect him to play at a very high level. They expect Dontayvion Wicks to play at a very high level.
What an answer. This Virginia team has tried to find a way to climb back. 3 losses in a row. Talked about having to avoid the middle of the game laps.
Yep.
Questions about the offense. What's wrong with Brennan Armstrong, who was remarkable a year ago? Tony Elliott said to us, just give us time.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
look,
got the guys. Give us time.
Yeah, and offense usually takes a little while. This is a departure. It's a departure in terms of philosophical approach from last year to this year. And look, these guys, a lot of these upperclassmen were used to doing things a different way, and they've had to unlearn what they learned before under Bronco Mendenhall and then learn what Tony Elliott wanted to get done. But they have the talent. Look, think about this. Dontayvion Wicks has the most plays of 20-plus yards of any wide receiver at UVA since the year 2000.
Lewis,
he is a big play waiting to happen.
Let me hop in here real quick. Zach Gibson, backup quarterback for Georgia Tech, now in the game. No Jeff Sims. Remember, Sims banged up against Louisville 11 days ago. So we'll get a report from Harry, and we've already got a false start with Gibson in the game.
False start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
That was Corey Robinson, the transfer for Kansas. Sims is in the tent. And we knew he had the ankle issue against Louisville. He didn't finish in overtime. It was Gibson's game. This will be a development if he can't finish the rest of the way. Forced out of bounds by Jackson.
Well, look, this is a challenge now for Chip Long, the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. Now, what do you do with a quarterback against a defense that right now is getting a lot of pressure on the passer? The offensive line's in retreat. It's under siege right now a little bit. They got to get the running game going. Remember, early in this game, they ran the ball effectively, especially when Dante Smith was in there. The offensive line has to reestablish the line of scrimmage.
Gibson's going to take a shot. Incomplete, tipped, nearly intercepted. That for Nate McCollum. Sanker on the coverage. Antonio Clary there for almost getting the interception.
Another great play by Sanker as far as getting his hands on the ball, playing the eyes in the hands of the receiver, and then Clary running to the football, see if he can finish with the tip pass for another interception. I mean, that's just how you do it. Try and run to the pocket of the receiver, get your head around, find the football, get your hand on it. Good fundamental defensive play by Sanker.
Absolutely no rhythm out of Georgia Tech right now. 3rd and long, just able to get it out to Hall out of the backfield. Can he get it himself? Hey, what an effort by Hassan Hall. Jackson able to get there to make the tackle, but it was too late. Gain of 11 and a first down.
Well, guys like Hassan Hall, Dante Smith, they're going to be the ones who have to take over this game, Matt. You're going to have to find a way to get them the ball, whether it be short passes out of the backfield, the screen game. The offensive line has to pick up their tempo.
Quickly again out of the backfield. And Lewis, that's what they're going to have to do at least until Gibson gets into some rhythm.
That's exactly what we're talking about. The screen game, we're just not talking about getting the ball to the backs on halfback slow screens or halfback wide screens. Get the ball out on the perimeter to the wide receivers. It's one of the strengths of this football team with the different body types that they have. That's a nice play call right there by Chip Long.
See Sims without his helmet on the sideline. We'll continue to monitor him, but right now Gibson's got a little something going. 2nd and 4 after the completion of Rutherford. Out of the pocket from behind. Waited a little bit too long, and Chico Bennett was right there, and a loss of 4 for the sack. Let's go down to Harry real quick for an update on Sims.
Yeah, guys, as you see, Jeff Sims is out of the tent. It looks like they're checking out that left ankle. It has been retaped. He's been practicing his drop back here, and they're going to keep an eye on that one.
All right, Harry, thank you. Chico Bennett, the Georgia Tech transfer, a homecoming in his own right. We'll see what Sims does here. 3rd and 8 for Gibson.
You're going to see if they can find a way to get the ball to Nate McCollum. He has got to be a guy who starts to factor in here in the slot.
Play clock down, just gets it off this Gibson. Pressure for Virginia Tech, and this thing's going nowhere. That Virginia defense. Some extracurricular activity, still no flag. These fans are fired up, but Bennett, what a good series for Bennett.
With this defensive line for Virginia, doesn't have a bunch of 5-star athletes or guys who are going to be on any kind of freak list anywhere. But they are playing hard. They are getting good pressure on the passer tonight. Outside of that first series, they've done a great job of clogging run lanes, playing with good fundamentals. Georgia Tech has just not been able to get anything going.
It's a defense that came in, giving up just under 25 points a game. That's 8th in the ACC. 5th punt in 6 possessions for Georgia Tech. Again, the pressure there, but he's able to get it off to Billy Kemp. He's going to give this a run. Has a crease up the middle. Here goes Kemp. Just shy of the 47-yard line. Georgia Tech, some issues right now. 4:36 left in the 2nd quarter. Whose ball when we come back?
So?
The new iPhone 14 Pro. It's amazing.
Room, a lot of reclining leather chairs there. Plus, according to Sam, the way Syracuse can knock off fellow unbeaten Clemson. Can Alabama avoid a losing streak? We're going to see if we can't stir something up there. And our halftime pick'em, Maddie, coming up when you join us at the half.
Kevin Connors, thank you. First down for Virginia. Xavier Brown, the freshman, and a big gain for the Hoos. Gain of 18, and this is an important possession for the Georgia Tech defense, especially with Jeff Sims. We don't know what his status is going to be the rest of the way.
Yeah, look, they need the answer here. This is going to be a low-scoring game. They're going to have to get off the field, play the field position game. The defense has to step up here. The strength of the team has to step up and make some plays and give their offense more shots at it.
Brown again. Keytaon White not fooled.
Guys like Keytaon White are going to have to make TFLs. They're going to have to get some sack fumbles, get some more turnovers. Already, Virginia's given them the ball 3 times already off of turnovers. They got to get more. I mean, that's just the name of the game right now when you don't know what the status is going to be of your star quarterback.
We've seen some of the big play receivers already for Virginia. Dontayvion Wicks, big touchdown. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Brennan's going to run it. Brought down by Collins after a gain of 7.
Just another component of Brennan Armstrong's game. He can take off between the tackles, find a gap, pick up 8, 9, 10 yards.
Deceptive.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's had, last year, immediately in the beginning of the game against Georgia Tech, ripped off a long run. So he can do some damage if you don't pay attention to him. And right now, he seems to be getting more and more comfortable.
So 3rd and 6. Jacket showing pressure. Here it comes. Armstrong forced out of the pocket. Keytaon White chased him out. And this could be 4-down territory. They wanted a hold on that one.
Absolutely. Charlie Thomas was coming free through the middle of the line of scrimmage. Again, a missed call. They tackled him to the ground. You're going to see him right there in the middle of your screen. You see 67 Derek Devine just reach around the waist and basically pull him down. I mean, that's an easy call from where I'm standing. That's an easy call.
And Austin, what about from where you're sitting?
Well, it is an easier call to make from up here than it is on the field. So he did hook him a little bit and get him to the ground. So I understand what you're saying. But again, it can be a tough call depending on your position.
Virginia, they're first at the half.
All right, so 4th and 3. They let the clock go down. They're going to use one of their timeouts is Virginia. In this crowd, there was the missed pass interference.
Please set the game clock to 2 minutes, 13 seconds.
There was the missed hold. And we'll see what Tony Elliott wants to do here on 4th and 3. While we wait, want to let you know Sunday NFL Countdown Crew has you covered for Week 7, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Monday Night Countdown Crew gets you set for Bears, Patriots, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Both are on ESPN and the ESPN app. That guy was pretty good at football, wasn't he?
I am Megatron.
By the way, quick programming note, Louis Riddick is going to take the private jet to London next week for a little Monday Night Football Sunday morning version for the London game, so you won't be with us next Thursday.
I'll be back at App State, baby.
Let's go, App State. Not looking too far ahead in the schedule. We got a big 4th and 3 here. Caught. Wicks. First down, Cavaliers.
Nice veteran job by Brennan Armstrong of just fading to his right, fading away from Rush, coming off of his front side. Just watch him. Just watch him subtly just fade, and then just lay the ball in there perfectly for Wicks along the sideline.
Do you know how many Virginia fans have to be watching this right now saying, there's our guy.
Yeah, where's he been?
There's our quarterback.
Look, he's getting comfortable. He's finding his rhythm. He's in his comfort zone right now, sitting in the gun. Getting a couple different actions, getting him out on the perimeter to his left. You see there, navigating the pocket. He's ran the football. He's throwing the football with touch.
Still 2 minutes left, or 2 timeouts left, rather, for Virginia. That's Jones. That was just about everybody on the Georgia Tech defense, led by Charlie Thomas, and a loss of 2. Clock approaching to under 1:30. Georgia Tech has all 3 timeouts. Virginia has 2.
Timeout. Georgia Tech, they're first of the half.
See Thomas shaking that right hand. That's That's a guy they cannot afford to lose.
Please set the game clock to 1 minute, 32 seconds. 1, 3, 2.
Charlie Thomas, you see the great read here.
Thank you.
See, he does something to his hand. See him come out of there holding his, it's like his fingers. Maybe he got his fingers jammed up. I mean, it's easy when you're inside there fighting and scrapping and trying to make sure that you stop the runner's forward progress. A lot of things can happen in there, but look, Charlie Thomas is a fantastic, fantastic player. One of the most instinctive linebackers you will see as far as his ability to key and diagnose, no false steps, play with tremendous physicality. He already has 2 targeting calls against him so far this year because he plays the game with a ton of physicality. He's a guy they can't afford to lose, has to play smart tonight.
Armstrong to the sideline, caught by 85, Grant Mish. You know, combined coming into the game, Charlie Thomas and Ace Ely, 117 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss. It's really the heart of what Andrew Thacker's defense is trying to do, who's done a great job with this unit to this point.
Yeah, as much as people like to hear about tackle statistics, I'm really more concerned in the quality of the tackles because tackles can be a little misleading, and these 2 guys make quality plays. In particular, Charlie Thomas. He'll make an impact on this game at some point in time.
3rd and 8 for Armstrong. That's just a misfire, incomplete. It was Wicks, the intended receiver. That's probably too a little bit aggressive for a 4th and go, so they're going to bring out the kicker.
Those are the kind of throws that are just frustrating. Because there, all Brennan has to do is just set his feet, make a nice, easy throw, put it on Wicks coming across the field. He can catch and run. He can just turn it up the sideline. And the clean pocket throws like that, a guy of his caliber can't miss those. He just cannot miss them.
So Bettridge missed an extra point. This from 39 yards. And he misses a field goal. So we had talked about how big of a possession that was for the Georgia Tech defense. They get their stop, and that was also big because Virginia starts the ball in the second half.
You're Georgia Tech, you know that's the kind of game it's going to be, man. Keep them out of the end zone. Make them try and kick field goals. You know it's a 50-50 proposition at this point. Just keep your team in it. Brent Key talks about body blows, however they come, whether it be keeping people out of the end zone, running the football for 3-4 yards, just stay in the fight. And now it's Zach Gibson's turn.
Yeah, he's going to stay in the game now. Judging by what we've seen on the sidelines, we'll get an update at halftime, but it does not appear Jeff Sims is going to be healthy enough to go. So it's going to be Gibson who has time. That's a good play design, and that's a good throw to Nate McCollum. He rolled out to his right, set his feet, went across the field, and a gain of 20.
And I said earlier, Nate McCollum is the guy who they have to get going. He is their big play threat that can blow a game wide open. Rolling to your right, throwing the football back across the field on the sideline. And that ball came out of his hand pretty now. He laid it right in there.
Transfer from Akron, played 3 seasons there, did Gibson. Another clean pocket, almost rolled right into it. There's a flag. Gibson started his slide, Sanker continued the hit. That'll get a yellow every time.
Unnecessary roughness, late hit. Defense number 15. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
So Chico Bennett and Sanker both there. Got an injured Virginia player. Let's have another look at this, Lewis.
Yeah, you see him here. Starts his slide. You see they get Chico Bennett coming in from behind. Probably figuring he doesn't have to put his body on him like this because he'd already started his slide. Probably had some time to pull off.
And it looks like it's Bennett. He's the injured player after colliding with his own teammate Sanker.
Yeah, it looks like Chico's getting off the field there. It looks like he's okay, hopefully. He's played a heck of a game.
Please set the game clock to 1 minute, 2 seconds.
You know, this one important to him.
Absolutely.
Again, transferred from Georgia Tech to Charlottesville.
He came into this game leading the team in sacks with 4. He's just an effort guy. An effort guy. He plays 100 miles an hour. There was an example of it where it bit him a little bit. But that embodies how he plays. And Sanker as well. He's been all over the field tonight as well. Making plays against the pass, filling against the run. Give Virginia's defense credit. They have come to play tonight. No question about that.
Set up the screen, and Gibson just missed him. And that design was there. That was intended for P.J. Harris.
An excellent play design. You had Hassan Hall running up the sideline to kind of draw coverage down the field. And then you have Harris he's blocking 1001, 1002 to set up a little bit of a screen action. He had the whole sideline to himself. They just complete the pass.
So under a minute. 2 timeouts for Tech. Gibson again tried to find that soft spot to Harris. Incomplete. So Lewis, 13-6. Hasn't been that great of an offensive first half for Georgia Tech, and by that I mean it hasn't been good. 3rd and 10, 2 timeouts, backup quarterback in. How are you designing the rest of this drive?
I think right now, look, what Chip Long is doing here is a nice job. He's throwing the ball along the boundary. He's really, these are some safe throws that, quite honestly, Gibson just has to be able to make.
Getting it to Hall will help.
That will help.
Hassan Hall finally a little bit of clearance off that left side.
Look, he's finding some holes as far as the route combinations he's dialing up against Virginia's defense, against their zone coverage. The screen call was a nice call. They just didn't execute it. Getting Hassan Hall here quickly out on the perimeter, who's been a big playbook guy for them. Just stick to the plan. Body blows. That's something that Brent Key talks about all the time. This is what he's talking about. Just keep working at it. Keep trying to execute. Play with fundamentals.
Virginia showing everybody. Stunt. Gibson reads it. Able to just get out of there. I think they're still going to get him for a loss of 2.
Charge timeout. Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech's going to bang that second timeout. That was Deanna.
It'll be 30 seconds.
Who got there with the pressure.
Please set the game clock to 42 seconds. 4-2.
So if you're just joining us just before the half and you're wondering why Zach Gibson's in and Jeff Sims is not, you see Sims standing there without his helmet. Lewis, we knew he came in already with a banged-up ankle, but on this play, you can see that left ankle roll as they fall on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you see the defensive lineman roll up on it. He gets it trapped underneath his body, which is very similar to how he hurt it in the first place, where you get your leg caught underneath you like that because the defender rolls on you. And that is just, you take that direct shot right on the injured leg again in the exact same way, basically, that you hurt it. And that's going to be tough to come back from.
2 wins in a row for Georgia Tech, first time since 2018. 2-1 in coastal play, just behind North Carolina. It's 3-0. Gibson has room. Looking for a block. Zach Gibson gonna get hit by Antonio Clary. And these Georgia Tech fans are just having a field day with the officials.
Well, I can tell you this right now. That's not something necessarily you want to see your backup quarterback taking a hit on his shoulder like that. Although it's non-throwing shoulder. But that's the kind of toughness that I can tell you will please offensive coordinator Chip Long.
You know Brent Key's going to love it too.
Absolutely. You just don't want to take too many shots like that.
Just short of the first down, now 3rd and 1.
That's the kind of grit and toughness that they're looking for. And that's something that will fire your football team up and come in as the backup quarterback.
He's going to throw for it. And McCollum got tripped up. He slipped, came up hopping. This could be incomplete. And now Brent Key's got a decision. 4th and 1, 28 seconds left, 1 timeout. It was quick, field goal coming.
She is trying to get the ball to Nate McCollum. McCollum has been open, working these 7 routes, these corner routes during this drive. They think they found something as far as trying to attack the Virginia defense in the deep part of the field on the sidelines. Look for them to come back to that here in the second half.
Gavin Stewart had missed an extra point right down the middle for the field goal. And Georgia Tech able to get some points out of that drive to make it 13-9 here with 24 seconds left in the first half this season. All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State.
Look, I think if you're Brent Key, you're thinking, look, I just need my team now with the backup quarterback, Zach Gibson, on the field. My team needs to see that we drove the football down the field, got something out of it. We cannot go into half trying to go for it there, maybe get stopped, and go into halftime totally deflated.
That was the first points from the Georgia Tech offense all night.
That's right.
They had the pick 6 and the missed extra point. So, look, Gibson made a couple of good throws.
He did.
It looks as if this offense can still go, and we're set up for a pretty good second half because we've seen some good Brennan Armstrong as well.
I think from a play calling standpoint, you see where they're trying to attack along the sidelines, 10, 15, 20 yards down the field. The screen that was set up perfectly that Zach just overthrew, that could have been potentially a touchdown. So Chip Long, offensive coordinator, knows what he wants to get done. Now it's just a matter of whether or not they can execute it because the opportunities will be there.
Interested to see what Tony Elliott elects to do. 2 timeouts remaining. Ball to 25. Have offensive weapons.
Look, I think if you're Tony Elliott, considering the way you've turned the football over here, and the offense has been a little bit sporadic, I don't think you want to take any chances.
And you get the ball.
Your own territory.
And you get the ball to start the second half.
You just kind of like go ahead to the locker room and say, look, we've had some good plays here. Brennan, you look comfortable at times. You missed some open throws, some open looks with no pressure. You got to clean those up.
So let's bring in Matt Austin here. They spotted the ball at the 3-yard line. That'll all but do it for Virginia's chances of moving it. Matt, tell us what happened.
Well, I only saw one quick replay. I don't think the receiver ever signaled for a fair catch. So he just caught it like he was going to return it. Then he took a knee. So technically that's the right call. Without a signal, that's all you can do.
All right, so Lewis, you're right. They're not going to run a play.
No.
They're going to go to the half with the lead, 13-9.
And that's the reason why you see Tony Elliott over there on the sideline just looking exasperated.
Brent Key's going to use that timeout. He's like, what the hell? I can't take it with me to the half.
Well, there's always the opportunity here for a mishandled snap, some kind of miscue.
Georgia Tech, the 3rd and final of the half. It will be 30 seconds. Please set the game clock to 13 seconds.
Give me a first half assessment for both teams.
Look, I think, again, if you're Tony Elliott and you're the Virginia Cavaliers, you like some of the things that your offense has shown since that's his area of expertise. They run the football with some authority. The quarterback has made some plays. And the defense has come to play. If you're Georgia Tech right now, I mean, look, it's tough to overcome the fact that your quarterback, Jeff Sims, was looking very good the last time we saw them here, winning again in overtime. And now that he's not on the football field with that injury, look at Zach Gibson's time. And they have shown that they will throw the football down the field. The defense has to come up with some more turnovers, continue to make Brennan Armstrong make good decisions. We'll see how this plays out in the second half.
So we'll see if Sims gets treatment at the break. But for now, it appears to be Zach Gibson's game. Virginia averaging just under 18 points. Got a little bit of a scuffle in the half. Coach is going to try to get out there quickly.
Let's see if he can correct that here in the second half.
That was a look at tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Again, Virginia starts with the ball in the second half. appears, at least for now, let's call it first half dominated by the defenses. We'll see what the third quarter has in store. It's Demeek Sterling. Flag on the play to start the third quarter. We'll check the penalty, and then we'll go down to Harry. 8 penalties in the first half. Georgia Tech had 6 for 56.
Holding. Receiving team during the 10-yard penalty. First down.
All right, so the Georgia Tech defense getting a good opportunity, but Virginia pinned back. Let's check in with Harry.
Guys, I spoke with both head coaches at the half. Tony Elliott said he wanted his team to play more instinctively. He said he felt they made some silly mistakes. He obviously wanted them to limit those turnovers, but he felt comfortable with where they were at through the first half. As far as Brent Key, he was very fired up. He said we need to withstand the body blows and go with who we've got at quarterback and stick to the plan. He did not have an update on Jeff Sims, but he said we're going to ride out whoever we got.
Okay, Harry, thank you. Armstrong going to pull it and run. Dives forward for the first down. We talked about how deceptively Armstrong's got that in him. Brought down by Ace Ely as we take a look now at your first half stats. Passing yards in favor of Virginia, as you would expect, 184 total yards. Pretty evenly matched, Lewis, when it comes to total yards. Defense, turnovers, and penalties kind of the story.
Yeah, if you're Georgia Tech and you look at the fact that you forced 3 turnovers and you're still behind in this game, that's not what you want.
That's not what you wanted for Georgia Tech either. Big play. That's Keytaon Thompson. Continues to be the big play guy for Brennan Armstrong. That was Brooks who missed the tackle. We've got a flag on the play in addition to the 31 yards.
See, I like what offensive coordinator Des Kitchings is doing with Armstrong as far as getting him out on the perimeter on some boot action and getting the ball to the guy who has been most dependable as far as making plays for them in Keytaon Thompson. Now, Dontayvion Wicks obviously has made some big plays as well, but that's a nice start.
Illegal block in the back.
That's what you want, to see the ball go through the hoop. So
if we're keeping in that parlance, we'll call it a foul and free throws coming after the big play. They knock off the illegal block.
Yeah, you can see Tony Elliott is not happy.
So penalty on the kickoff, penalty after the big play of 31. Still gets the first down. Going down to 46.
But again, with a quarterback who is struggling with his confidence and his consistency, those are the kind of throws that you need. You need to start fast. You need to start hot. He took off and ran the ball in the first play and then gets a nice completion.
That's a good tackle by the D front. Paris Jones with the ball carrier. That was Douse. No gain. In fact, they'll credit him with a loss of 1.
If you're this Georgia Tech defense, you know it's going to be on you for the most part. You know you have a backup quarterback, Zach Gibson, who's going to be playing there in the second half. And you're going to have to make some plays, get some TFLs, punch at the football, get some extra possessions. That's what complementary football is all about, and something that Brent Key believes in wholeheartedly.
Pressure was coming, tried to bat down the ball, can't do it. Caught by Mish. Brooks brings him down after 8.
Just take what the defense is giving. Throw the football with good fundamentals. See the field. Deliver it accurately. That's all you can ask Brennan Armstrong to do, and that's all he should be asking himself to do. Just play within the structure of this new offense that you're trying to learn, man. So far, so good coming out here to start the second half.
Virginia 2 of 6 on third downs tonight. That's Thompson in motion. They're going to give it to Keytaon. He just misses it. That's exactly what you were talking about. Lack of confidence, missing the throw that he should make every time.
Yeah, I mean, just step into this throw and put it on the receiver. Don't airmail it over his head. You just got to play with good, consistent fundamentals and deliver the football. That play wasn't going anywhere anyway, considering how KJ Wallace had broke on it. But still, those are the things he has to iron out and figure out and get out of his own head and make sure he is just playing the game fundamentally sound and to his full potential.
Daniel Sparks on to punt. Ray Guy Ward watch list. McCollum deep to receive it. Oh, this could turn out good. Well, if you watch football for special teams, can't get much better than that. Punt rolls just inside the 5-yard line after 42 yards. Week 7 Monday Night Football matchup. The Bears are in Foxborough to take on the Patriots. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Peyton and Eli also back on ESPN2. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown at 6 p.m. Eastern. What about old Bailey Zappi?
He's been on fire, man.
Guy can sling it.
He's flat out been on fire. Look, a lot of people liked him coming out in college. Threw for a ton of yards. He has picked up this Patriots offense and ran with it.
They're going to need Hassan Hall to run with it in the second half if they want to stay in this one. That's Carter on the tackle, gain of 1. So Lewis, offensively now, we know it's going to be Zach Gibson's game. Sims is not going to return at quarterback.
Yeah, look, the offensive line has to help him out. They have to get some movement at the point of attack, make sure they protect when they decide to drop back and throw it. Look, he can't do it on his own. He's just trying to, right now, just manage this thing and not let it get off the rails as the backup. And he made some nice throws in the first half, but everyone else has to do their part.
He's going to take a shot downfield, tried to get the guy in the crease, E.J. Jenkins. Look, he's had time to throw. Like you said, he's made some throws.
Yeah, look, I mean, how many reps realistically does Zach Gibson get with the first-team wide receivers? How much of the game plan has he actually practiced? Now, I know, obviously Jeff Sims was a little bit banged up coming into this game, so he may have gotten more reps in the past couple of days than normal, but the timing is just going to be off. The rhythm is going to be off, and you're going to have to live with that here in this kind of situation.
So Virginia's showing pressure. Pin deep is Georgia Tech. They're just going to get some yardage if they can, get some clearance.
So now you're in a very, very precarious situation here for Georgia Tech's punt team. Because Virginia is going to go 10 up and try and get another one of these blocks, the double thud. And they have come close. Now, to Georgia Tech's credit, the punter, David Shanahan, has done a nice job of speeding up his process and not taking all day to get the ball off. But this right here, if I'm Brent Key, I'm holding my breath. I really am.
Exhale. Punt is off. Billy Kemp at the 40. Stutter steps. Tries to get a crease. Just shy of the 50-yard line. And another flag on the play. We said this thing was getting chippy. Right at half, it's continued here in the third quarter. Nothing's better for flow of a game.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team
another illegal block in the back for Virginia. Already their third penalty here in the third quarter. We're going to get something going. We've got a lot of football left to play. Tony Elliott stunned, 13-9 Virginia. Georgia Tech 9 here in a big game in the ACC, especially for Georgia Tech. It's very much in contention in the ACC. Coastal 2-1 overall, just behind North Carolina, who's 3-0. You see, we now know Jeff Sims will not be back in the game. He is in street clothes for the rest of the game. So going forward, it is all Zach Gibson. Defense going to have to step up for Georgia Tech. Armstrong gives it to Keytaon Thompson. And a gain of 6.
It's interesting how they'll use Thompson. They'll put him in the Wildcat and let him run the football from the backfield. And being a big slot receiver, get him the ball in some jet sweeps, reverses.
There's Brown getting the first down, the true freshman out of Lexington, Kentucky. Keon White, the ODU transfer, brings him down.
That's just good, solid blocking at the point of attack by the left side of Virginia offensive line.
And coming into the game, the offensive line was a big question mark. It has been all season.
Both of these teams lack experience. They lack cohesion. They're trying to find the right combination of 5 while building depth at the same time, like every college team tries to do on both sides of the ball. But tonight,
snap low again to Keytaon. He's tough to bring down. Gain of 4 tackled by Brooks, where he gets credit for it.
Clearly, Thompson is the guy Now, he's a guy who does all the dirty work. He runs the full route tree in the slot. They can send him down the field in jump ball situations. Like I said, they run him out of the backfield. He does a little bit of everything.
Armstrong to the sideline, and that's the drop that has been killing this team, and it's been Dontayvion Wicks who's been getting them. He just can't find his rhythm to catch the ball. For every remarkable play you see out of him, you get a drop like that.
Yeah, you see it's a nice route. Goes up the field, breaks it off, tries to work back down along the sideline as Brennan Armstrong is rolling out to his left to him. He's hit him a few times over there. He just dropped the pass.
They said some 39 drops coming into this game.
That's an incredible number.
Especially with the receivers that they have.
Incredible number.
So third down. Armstrong misses, tipped by Billy Kemp. And that is another opportunity where he had a chance to complete the ball and he threw it behind him.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, look, he had a clean pocket. The ball just died and just trailed off at the end. Didn't have a whole lot of velocity on it. You just wonder, was Billy Kemp too deep? Was Brennan expecting him to stop sooner? Cut off the route? I mean, is there a miscommunication? Like, what is it? And you can just see the exasperation on Armstrong's face. Tony Elliott over there talking to Billy Kemp about his route and what happened on the play. It's been the story of their season right there.
Oh, the punting's been so good. That's why Sparks is on the Ray Guy Award watch list. Second time inside the 5 for Georgia Tech. Hey, Lewis, when I step aside here for commercial break, I want you to do an offense dance, like a rain dance for offense. Make it happen.
We'll get some big plays eventually. Just stay tuned.
We're trying. The year, all season long. Jason Greenberg, producer, field producer extraordinary, he is fearless. Walking through college kids like that.
Clearly.
He needs to
get some great shots, though, doesn't he?
He does.
He gets some absolutely great shots. I think he filmed your trip to the Waffle House.
We'll get into that. History was made today in downtown Atlanta. First things first, though, Dante Smith now in the backfield for Zach Gibson, now at quarterback for Georgia Tech. Jeff Sims out for the night. Smith gave him a little bit of punch in the first quarter. Chico Bennett on the tackle. Lewis, give me something to get this Georgia Tech offense going.
Look, I think get it in the hands of your playmakers. Look, Nate McCollum has to make an impact on this game somehow. Be creative in terms of how you get the ball to him. I understand they're going to want to be a little conservative backed up down here and try and run the football out of here. And Dante Smith was hot early on in the game.
Tries to cut it back. Good recognition by Chico again. Second tackle in the row for Bennett.
But I can tell you this. Look, Chico Bennett's name's been being called by you all night. This front seven has played their rear ends off all night long. Whether it be Bennett, Nick Jackson, Sanker's been coming down to support the run. Clary's had some big hits. Carter, they've all shown up tonight. You're going to have to throw the football. You're going to have to take some chances throwing this football to get this ball out of here.
It's dropped. A drop on the exchange, and Virginia is all over it. Nick Jackson, the Atlanta native, comes up with it, and that is exactly what Georgia Tech couldn't afford.
And when you have those read type of plays where the quarterback's riding the football in the belly of the running back and he's trying to read it out to see if he wants to pull it or give it, if you haven't taken a lot of reps with these guys and they don't have a feel for how you do it, that's the kind of thing that can happen. To me, the ball handling there is just too tricky with the backup quarterback this deep in your own territory. I would have tried to get the ball on the perimeter, like I said, to a guy like McCollum and let him see if he can make somebody miss and produce an explosive play. Now, if you're Brennan Armstrong, you're going, I got to be able to punch it in from here. We've got to be able to get 6 out of this.
Field position matters. The 5-yard line, the 4-yard line, a turnover, and now Armstrong. He fumbles it.
Exact same thing.
Now that's just a good break.
You can tell he wanted to pull it. Maybe the running back grabbed the football. It's exactly what Armstrong is saying right there to Paris Jones. He wanted to pull that ball.
If he had dropped that and Georgia Tech got it right back, I would have chugged a gallon of Waffle House syrup just to change it up. Something.
And you can see Tony Elliott, he is just exasperated over there on the sideline. You can read his lips as to exactly what he just said.
Quick throw by Armstrong. That's Keytaon Thompson. Gets it away from a few tacklers. I mean, he is hard to bring down. We said that early on. That's a good example of it. He's 6'5", 216. Continues to be the guy for Armstrong. Gain of 7 and 3rd and goal now, Lewis.
That should be a gain of no yards to 1 maximum. I mean, he makes at least 3 guys miss and then carries half the Georgia Tech defense further down the field. He's been a workhorse for him as far as number of touches. There's no question about that.
And Tamari Walton, the guy who missed the first tackle, he's a big kid as well. So now 3rd and goal. Armstrong's in it. This play was dead before it started with a flag.
False start. Offense number 1. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
How about that?
It's just brutal. It's brutal. I mean, coaches don't coach penalties. They don't coach false starts. They don't coach, fumbled quarterback, running back, or quarterback center exchanges. And sometimes they feel a little powerless over there on the sideline, but ultimately it's their responsibility. And you can see it just wearing on Tony Elliott, these self-inflicted errors. Down here in the red area, a prime scoring opportunity, and you're moving the wrong way.
Already the 4th penalty of the quarter for Virginia. Ball back outside the 10. Armstrong gonna throw to the end zone, has a receiver. It is incomplete. That was intended for Davis.
It hit him right in the chest.
Correct me if you've heard this before. Drops.
That's just amazing. I mean, you're gonna see Brennan Armstrong navigate the pocket, step up, identify Davis coming across the back of the end zone. He puts it right on him. It hits him square in the chest.
Des Kitchens, their offensive coordinator, said when they were self-scouting during the bye week as Will Bettridge on for the field goal attempts, he believes drops have affected outcomes of 2 of their games. It could have been worse. 28-yard attempt. Bettridge's already missed 1. That one's true. All things considered for the Georgia Tech defense, still a touchdown deficit for them as Virginia tacks on more points, 16-9. They're midway through the 3rd quarter. And the work that they do to feed folks pretzels, that was a large pretzel. By the way, go to social media and check out the large quantities of syrup Lewis put on his large waffle.
I have waffles with some syrup. Yeah, you're right. I do. I like it that way.
It looked like cereal and milk. It looked like syrup and waffle. So let's see if we can get the offense going here for Georgia Tech. But going to break, we had talked about Virginia and their drops that have led to them only having 16 points when they should have more.
Yeah, look, I tell you, this offense is just too talented for this to continue to happen. These guys are too talented. They were too productive a year ago when Brennan Armstrong was throwing for 4,400 yards plus.
That off of Dylan Leonard's knee.
That's just a bad throw.
Room for Gibson.
But look, you can see what Chip Long's trying to do. He's trying to get the ball out in space on the perimeter so the playmakers can then just catch and run. But you got to first put it on them so they can catch it. And sometimes that's obviously easier said than done.
That mesh point again with Hall. He gave it to him. Virginia not fooled by anything right now. Their defense has been really solid tonight.
It's all about the front seven, man. They have played with great point of attack gap control. They're getting off blocks. They're running to the football. Every single one of these guys is making plays. Carter, Akiri, they're all making plays. Chico Bennett, you've called his name numerous times. Rushing the passer, now you see him lined up in between the center and guard in the A-gap.
Here comes the pressure, stands in there, that's incomplete. Intended for Hall.
And there was Chico coming on the stun inside, applying the pressure, making it uncomfortable for Zach Gibson to throw the football. I mean, that's just been the story of this game. It just has.
This is 6 straight incomplete for Gibson.
And, you know, when he started off well. He pushed the ball down the field, made a couple nice throws. But, man, the inconsistencies are just maddening. Basic execution, they can't get it going right now.
See if Shanahan can get his punt off. He does so. Had that one tipped tonight, and that was it. Billy Kemp at the 25-yard line. Tries to cut back to his right. Something out of nothing for Billy Kemp. 47. Return of 9. Dylan McDuffie gets the tackle. Saturday ABC and the ESPN app. Number 14 Syracuse, they're undefeated. What a story that's been this year for Dino Babers. Taking on 5th-ranked Clemson. That's noon Eastern. That's a nooner. Then Texas. Now, I'll tell you what, if they go into Stillwater, Texas, and take down Oklahoma State, you could argue they're the team to beat in the Big 12. Sark's got that thing going, especially with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. And Penn State was embarrassed last week against Michigan. They've got Minnesota, row the boat, 7:30 Eastern, our primetime game. Armstrong fake, boot to his left. Thompson's there. He's going to block for him. The gain of 1. Chased out by Sims. So we now take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by AT&T 5G. Tennessee moved up from 8th to 3rd after beating Alabama. What a statement that was for Heupel and
What a heck
Booker.
of a game, man.
I mean,
a heck of a game. Fireworks galore.
UCLA and Oregon, 9-10. That's a fun one. Chip Kelly brings his squad back to his old home as an underdog. Designed run for Armstrong. He stays up. He's not one to slide. He'll lay that head forward and get 12 to 13 yards and a first down. Ely missed the tackle, which is rare for him. Who's moved the chains? Brown off the left side for 2.
Look, however you need to move the football, you move the football, right? Your quarterback is struggling. You know he has some running ability, then design quarterback run, whether that be quarterback power, quarterback draw. I think right now he's going to want to stay away from some of the zone reads where he has to put it in the belly of the running back, because we saw what can happen there. But I think if you're Tony Elliott, look, you're just thinking about trying to get a win here and not cause any more undue, unforced errors that could put your defense in a bad situation with a short field. And I think you're seeing that being reflected in the play calling right now.
A fake to Brown. Armstrong going to take a shot. Wicks is there. What did I tell you about Dontayvion Wicks? He'll drop one in his chest, and he'll make a beautiful catch like that for a gain of 37.
It's a nice adjustment on this play where they roll, they get Brennan on the play action. It looks like Wicks is going to come across on like an intermediate crosser, but then he turns it upfield. He adjusts his route as the DB jumps the crosser.
Speaking of jumping, Virginia was early there.
That's just a nice adjustment, nice play call, nice execution. It's a slight variation.
Ball start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
And then you have this, another penalty. But just watch Wicks. Watch him. He's coming across field. And then watch him turn and watch him cut upfield inside of Clayton Powell-Lee. I mean, that's just good football right there. That's good, smart football. And look at that catch. That's not an easy catch to make, and he makes that one.
That's the maddening part. Yeah. Because they've got the weapons. Virginia has everything they need to score points, including the quarterback, who's going to take a shot at the end zone to Brown, who was kind of on a wheel route. The pressure got to him.
Well, clearly, offensive coordinator Des Kitchings feels as though, look, one area that we have found Brennan to be comfortable in is when we're moving him out to his throwing arm, out to the left, reading half the field, running some layered routes concepts, short, intermediate, deep, off of play action. He seems comfortable doing it. He's had some nice throws going to his left tonight.
This time he looks right. That's Brown. He's got space out of the backfield. Charlie Thomas, he's been active. Gain of 8. Going to be bringing up a 3rd and long.
All this talk that we've had about Virginia's offense, Brennan Armstrong, these opportunities now here deep inside the red area, and it's still a one-score game. And if you're Georgia Tech, you have to hang your hat on that as a defense and say, we got to come up with one more stop.
That's it.
Make them kick a field goal at the very least.
incomplete pass.
Well, that's good tight coverage. Good tight coverage, avoiding the pass interference. You're going to see it. Press coverage, a little soft press. Motor your feet. Just read the route. Stay on top of it. Stick your hand in the pocket, offhand. Don't swipe at the ball. Just stab at it. Just put your hand in there. More times than not, you'll hit the football. It's textbook cornerback play.
So 29-yard attempt by Bettridge. Georgia Tech's defense did its job, holding to 3. Off the upright. No good.
Just give your team a chance.
Still a touchdown game. And at some point, the Georgia Tech offense has to go up to the defense and say, we got you. Thank you.
At some point, the Georgia Tech defense is going to go to the Georgia Tech offense and go, all right now. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Hey, did we switch places with the NFL tonight? Are we sure this is Thursday Night Football,
you know what? Hey.
college style on ESPN?
I'll tell you what, it's still a one-score game. It takes one explosive play, and you can change the fortunes and the attitude of this entire stadium. You need one explosive play.
Thursday Night Football, college. Let's get weird. 2:17 left. Hall, stutter step. Still nothing. Let's go down to Harry.
Guys, there's been a lot of encouragement towards Zach Gibson down here on the Georgia Tech sideline. Jeff Sims was one of the first people to greet him when he came off last possession. He's also been giving him many words of encouragement, as well as Nate McCollum, and even with Chip Long. He's been very chill, just asking him, hey, what are you comfortable with? What are you not comfortable with? We'll see how they do on this offensive possession here.
You know, get in this 12 personnel package, 2 tight ends, 2 wides in the back, run play action, and take a deep shot.
He's got the time, and then the pocket collapses. He had plenty of time to make a throw, and Akire and Bennett combined for the sack and a loss of 5.
You got to find a way to get that ball out of your hand and not take any losses here, especially when you're backed up like this. You've got to have an outlet. You got to have an answer. You got to have some way to get the ball out of your hand quick. You can't just eat sacks here when your defense has been playing like it is.
So 3rd and 13 for now, empty backfield. Virginia 5 DB showing. Pressure backs off, just bringing the D-line. Gibson time, takes a shot, it is dropped. Is it picked off?
It's hard to see.
I think they're going to rule it incomplete. That was Antonio Clary, who was near one earlier.
And from our angle, it looks like it may have hit the ground.
The ruling on the field is an interception. First down.
Let's get another look at it here. You see him. It hit the ground.
That's good acting by Clary.
The previous play is under further review.
So that's just another one of those examples when you're coming across on that intermediate dig route to Rutherford. You just got to hit that. You got to put it on him. It's a little bit behind him. It's a tough catch. It's a catchable ball.
And he's open.
It's a catch. I mean, it's a nice play call by Chip Long, and you just got to be able to execute. That ball clearly bounced off the ground.
I'd bring in Matt Austin, but I don't want to insult him with his time. I mean, Matt, if you want to talk, have at it. Let's say hi to you. How you doing out there?
I'm doing great, and I couldn't agree with Lewis Mora. I do definitely think that ball hit the ground, and this is going to be incomplete.
Hope he didn't fall off on that ledge. Both of you went out on.
Hey, I said it before we got. I said it before we got the replay.
You've had a good night.
But I will say this, though. I will say this.
After further review, the ball hit the ground. The pass was incomplete. It's 4th down.
Even before we get to whether or not that was a catch or not. See, that's a nice play design against that soft coverage. Trying to attack the middle of the field, intermediate zone. You have a nice, you have a window to throw and deliver it. I mean, that's all you can do as a coach is draw up the right play call, run the right route. You got to put it on him. You've got to put that on him. And if it's a difficult catch, sometimes receivers, you got to make difficult catches. And if you don't, you're punting out of your own territory again.
The 8th punt for Shanahan. They cannot flip this field, but the special teams coverage does a nice job getting to Kemp. And Virginia's average field position in this third quarter alone,
It's been unbelievable.
I mean, the defense at some point for Georgia Tech is going to get tired.
You know what?
3 and out in this field position.
What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to turn the ball over. It's not going to be one of those where, I mean, they're going to have to turn the ball over in plus territory or something, or get an explosive return, fumble recovery, scoop and score type of situation.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a defender right now, you're thinking, look, we have to be sure and make sure we go for the tackles and don't let people get yardage after contact. But you got to be punching at that ball. You got to be stripping at the ball. You got to make it as easy as possible for the offense.
So 43 seconds left here in the third quarter. Wide open is Mish. Smart tackle by 16, KJ Wallace after a gain of 8.
Again, getting Brennan Armstrong out on the perimeter, getting him comfortable. They've obviously found something that works for him.
And that's Brown, who's had a nice night out of the backfield. That's going to be plenty for the first down. Brooks brings him down. A gain of 10, and that could be it for the third quarter. So we started the third quarter 13-9. We end it 16-9.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Both offenses take some fiber during the break. Let's loosen some things. Quarter here at Bobby Dodd Stadium, downtown Atlanta. It has been a fiery game, 16-9. Virginia over Georgia Tech as we welcome you back to ESPN College Football, presented by Sling TV to start the fourth quarter. Armstrong, a good job avoiding the pressure. He skipped it incomplete. Intended for Sean Wilson. Still a one-touchdown game.
You just see Brennan's body language there. I mean, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I mean, he's just struggling right now with his confidence, with what he's seeing. Is he sure when he's letting the ball go where it's going? Is he making the right read? It's just so hit or miss. But he has been doing this very well tonight.
It's Mish with Armstrong out of the pocket. One wonders if he's so good rolling to his left. I mean, integrate that one.
Well, clearly they have. I mean, you could almost hear Des Kitchings right now going, hey, you know what? Just run, roll out. Just get him out on the perimeter. Let him read deep to short. And just get the ball out of his hand.
7-8 yards a pop.
That's right. Just play it again.
3rd and 2.
Anytime we're in the middle of the field or on the right hash, let's just run it.
And the Tech defense come up again. Shift. Brown to the right. Great job by one, Charlie Thomas. He shot the gap, loss of 2, bring it up 4th down.
That's his biggest play of the night. That's what we're talking about as far as instincts. As far as when you talk about a linebacker getting off the spot, just watch this. Watch, he just shuffles, crosses over, then go. Then just hit it downhill. That's an easy, simple read. It's not like there's anything complicated about it. But you got to be confident and pull the trigger and go and make the play. Now they got to come up with a big-time stop here.
Virginia's kicking issues. Tony Elliott going for it, 4th and 3. Armstrong out of the pocket. Intended for Keytaon Thompson. Wouldn't you know it? The Miles Brooks in that one-on-one matchup, and the Georgia Tech defense holds again.
Look, they have carried their end of the bargain and lived up to their end of the bargain, I should say, all night long. Down here in scoring territory, red zone, high red zone, down inside the 5. They have just come up with play after play. And here again, you see they flush him out to his left. It's a nice throw, it's on time, it's just better coverage.
So Zach Gibson trots back out, see if he can't get something going. Dylan McDuffie in the game for the first time at running back. Down to score. Tipped. That's Jonas Sanker.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. 2nd down.
He's been all over the place tonight. Every level of this defense has made plays tonight. Every single level. I mean, both of these defenses have been really spectacular in terms of coming up with timely plays when they need them the most.
You see Dante Smith now lined up at quarterback with a direct snap. He's going to pick up, looks to be 4 yards.
It's a tough situation for offensive coordinator Chip Long to be in right now. He's searching for something, Matt. Something.
Gibson's throwing 8 straight.
Yeah, I mean, he's just throwing at, well, we can't do that. Nope, scratch that off. Nope, scratch that off. Can't do that. You know, it's a very frustrating situation because right now they can't get a completion, and they've had some good routes called up. They've had some good play calls called up. But they're going to have to throw this football again, and they're going to have to throw it down the field, and at some point he's going to have to be able to put one on one of these wide receivers.
So 3rd and 7. Pressure comes. Gibson hangs on to it again, and there is a bunch of Cavaliers led by Chico Bennett. There's about 5 hats back there. A convoy of Cavaliers.
That's a tough situation, man. That's a real tough situation. Here you see him. You got to get the ball out of your hand. I understand that maybe there wasn't a receiver at the sticks that would have given you a chance for a first down, but you got to get it out of your hand and into the hand of the playmakers to at least give them a shot, because you have no shot when you're getting put on your back because you're holding on to the football.
Shanahan has been a busy punter tonight. And that is a good roll, and Billy Kemp angry he didn't come up and get it. So Georgia Tech, despite the offensive issues, able to flip the field there. Ball on the 24-yard line. And why wouldn't Virginia be celebrating? They are all starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's a good start for Armstrong and Virginia. That's Wicks. Gain of 12, first down. Ace Ely on the tackle.
Just take what the defense gives you, right? Second level defenders dropping back, playing everything top down. Hey, we'll just throw it underneath. Just let your playmakers make some plays. The same thing Georgia Tech should be doing, getting the ball out of Gibson's hands.
A flag coming out from the secondary with Brown on the carry.
That's a holding penalty, I'll bet.
Be our 14th penalty of the night.
I saw Furness just reach out and grab Ely.
Holding. Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Six penalties in the second half for the Hoos. And again, it stifles any momentum, Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I mean, when the quarterback just starts to get some completions.
Oh, good job by Brennan Armstrong. Sensed the pressure, was going to throw. Charlie Thomas was there. Was able to pull it down and get 5.
Yeah, that's a smart decision. It's a smart, decisive action on the part of Armstrong. Duck under the rush, step up, find a lane, and get some positive yardage. However it is that Brennan Armstrong can build his confidence, that's what he needs to do. Just move the football positively down the field and don't turn it over.
Armstrong is Virginia's leading rusher on the night because of reasons like that. Brown brought down by Kennard. Yet another 3rd and long and an opportunity for the Jackets defense to see if they can bail him out, or can Virginia convert? Just 2 of 11 tonight on 3rd down.
I mean, when you think about it, you think there's 10 minutes plus left in this game. Typically you're thinking, let's just play everything top down, guard the sticks, don't let them get up first, they'll punt it, we'll get another shot at it. But if you're Georgia Tech, you may be thinking, we got to turn this ball over.
Pressure coming from Tech. Armstrong time. Misses the timing with Lavelle Davis. That's Miles Sims.
I mean, Davis was not even out of the break when Brennan was ready to throw the football, and the ball didn't go to a spot anywhere close to where he thought he was going to be. I mean, that's the timing and rhythm that they just have not been able to establish yet. I mean, that to me was a great example of it. I mean, it wasn't even close.
But at this point now, special teams needs to make a play.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Something's got to break serve here.
Blocked punt, a big punt return. You got to pick it up and go.
That is unbelievable.
Hey, we said it. It was going to be a big play of some kind, whether it be an interception, cause fumble. You have to get aggressive. And there it is. That's what Brent Key talks about when he says this body blows. Just keep fighting. Now, they got to convert here. They got to make it worth it. But that's how you give yourself a chance.
I mean, if it's that easy for us to call what needs to happen and have it happen,
yeah,
why stop there? Dalen Gordon, the guy that got the hand on it, but that's what you needed. You needed something to get Georgia Tech on Virginia's side of the field.
Honestly, if I'm Chip Long right now, I am telling Zach Gibson, no sacks. Get the ball out of your hands. Taking a shot off of play action.
There's the throw to the end zone. Incomplete. Tipped by Sanker, who's been all over tonight. Leo Blackburn, the intended receiver, but got the ball out, took a shot, loosened up the defense.
Look, if you're Virginia, you should have been expecting that. Sudden change, plus territory, the team's needing a big play. That's exactly what every team tries to do. See if they can knock you out real quick with a big play over the top, and they were prepared for it.
So this is Georgia Tech's best starting field position. Can they take advantage? Gibson forced out of the pocket. Again, holds on to it. Can he find a receiver open? Gibson still on his feet. Wisely throws it again. Probably held on to it a little too long for the offensive coordinator, Chip Long, and it was intended for Ryan King.
Now, it's third down. What's your play call? 3rd and 10 in plus territory. You have momentum. You don't want to squander it.
He's got 10 straight incompletions.
If you're Chip Long, what do you call?
Something to get you 5 yards to go forward on 4th.
Who's your best player? Get something to number 8. It has to be something to Nate McCullum. Get him freed up somewhere in the middle of the field.
Your defense is playing well enough to, if you get some yardage here, give yourself an opportunity, which they've done. Sack. Great job by Virginia. They are just teeing off on this Georgia Tech offensive line. That was Cam Butler.
Well, you can see it there. Zach Gibson's eyes come down. He feels the rush. When you've been sacked this many times, hit this many times, your eyes are going to start coming down. You're not going to keep it down the field. I mean, you can see right there. He's just looking for a place to escape. His head goes down, tucks his chin. Look, and it isn't great protection. But it's just going to progressively get worse until he experiences some kind of success getting the ball out and seeing himself complete a pass.
So Shanahan is 10th punt of the night. That's the 6th sack for this Virginia defense that has been so aggressive here in the second half, or really since Gibson's been in. See how this one rolls. Inside the 10. If defense is why you show up to your TV, you're never leaving.
We all love defense,
it's so
man.
Good.
I love defense.
Team stagnant. Matt Berry, Lewis Riddick back with you. You know who Virginia could use on offense? Clemson wide receiver Tony Elliott. A walk-on at Clemson. Elliott had 2 touchdown receptions in his career. Both of them were against Georgia Tech.
How about that? 83. Is he with the contested catch?
Is that old Chaz Whitehurst swinging him the pill? Charlie Whitehurst, what a legend.
That's sweet, man.
Brings that walk-on mentality with him everywhere he goes. 1st and 10. Brown, the running back. Tech's defense there. No gain. Caius Scott on the tackle.
You find out a lot about football character, meaning how much you love the game, how much you play the game to play the game. In moments like this, especially when the defense has been playing like they've been playing, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to get ticked off. I've been there, been down this road, been on some great defenses on teams that we didn't have a whole lot of offense, and it can get discouraging. Or you accept the challenge and you try and win it.
Good job by Brennan Armstrong, seeing the coverage. There goes Brennan Armstrong. We had talked about his deceptive running ability. Nothing deceptive about that. 43 yards, the leading rusher in the game, gives the Who's a big play.
And who does he make miss in the open field but Charlie Thomas? He had a chance to get him down, and you're going to see it right here, right off to the right side of your screen. You're going to see one coming to your screen, and he just overruns it and dives at him, doesn't come to balance, and he's out the gate. Biggest play by Brennan Armstrong tonight.
Sylvania and Juden also could have wrapped him up.
You talk about flipping the field, though, right, Matt? That right there does it. That changes the whole complexion of how they feel right now. Maybe they take a shot and try and knock this game out off of play action.
Instead, they'll give it to Brown on the ground. Zeke Biggers. UVA offense averaging 356 yards per game. They're up over 400 tonight.
But ideally, if your offense was working with confidence and your quarterback was throwing the football well, or relatively well, this is the time where you would go for one of the knockout shots.
See Ronnie Walker on the field for the first time tonight at running back. He's set back there. He's going to stay and protect. Armstrong's going to tuck it. It's Charlie Thomas after a gain of 5. Lewis, we're approaching 6-minute mark, and not much offense for Georgia Tech to speak of. Virginia pushing the game away right here.
They sure do. They sure do. And that's really what they're doing, taking the play clock down, running the football, quarterback draws, quarterback power, inside, outside zone, let the running backs like Xavier Brown see if they can put the game away.
Third and 5. And the defense come up again. Can Virginia get one step closer to snapping the 3-game losing streak? It is incomplete. That almost tipped into Keytaon Thompson's hands. Sackett Wood, the intended receiver. That's Miles Brooks, man. If I'm giving a helmet sticker for this defense tonight, it's 20.
Same route combination, motion over to trips, get a little bit of a bunch set. Try and clear it out, run a little slant or a little shallow cross underneath it. They played it perfectly. Great anticipation on the part of Georgia Tech's defense. And look, Miles Brooks started off this game with a big play. And they come up big once again.
There have been so many punts in this game. Pat McAfee would need a cigarette. Especially after that. So Aiden Livingston able to get down there. Spot the ball at the 6. Hey, it's still a one-score game there in the fourth quarter. Over the second half to start inside Georgia Tech's own 10. In a big week here for the Georgia Tech Athletic Department. Jay Batt, the new athletic director, coming in from Alabama. And that's a positive play for Hassan Hall. For more on Batt, the new athletic director, let's go down to Harry.
Guys, I spoke with Jay Batt on Tuesday, and he said the part about Georgia Tech that he really loves is this ideal combination of world-class athletics and world-class academics. He said it's a special place, a unique institution. He said he wants to spend time listening and learning about what makes it those things while also making fundraising a priority. He's done that while not officially starting until Monday. When I asked him about a future head coach, he said he recognizes it needs to be addressed, but remain firm on the idea of taking time, what needs to go into that decision, and supporting Coach Key and the current staff right now.
Taking a shot downfield to Nate McCollum. Of course, Brent Key here on an interim basis. There was some overlap with Key and Batt while at Alabama. Key, we know the resume, played offensive line here, coached under Nick Saban. George O'Leary, a big influence on him. He's at least in the interim turned this thing around in the first 2 games that he had coached.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing, though, is the wholesale effect on this football team, especially on the offensive side in particular, of Jeff Sims not being here. He is a special talent at the quarterback position. Special. When he's healthy, if he was playing this game with 2 good legs, this game would be markedly different. But as you see, they have no zone read, no RPO game, no threat of the quarterback run. The offense becomes severely constricted now without him on here, and Virginia is just absolutely teeing off now.
That is the 6th time Gibson's been sacked, 7th overall for Virginia. And you see Shanahan, his heels are dangerously close to the back. He's able to get it off, though. Good job out of him. Billy Camp running up on it. Tell you what, for the punting problems Georgia Tech's had this year, Shanahan got a flag down on the play.
Personal foul, leaping, defense number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, how about that?
Wow, trying to go up over the top and try and get the punt block. I mean,
between the defenses.
Wow, here's the replay. You can see it. Lavelle Davis trying to go up over the top.
Matt Austin.
Yeah, Lewis is exactly right, and that's exactly why the rule was put in, was for that play. The defender puts himself in jeopardy when he goes over the punch shield, and they end up getting flipped over and land right on their head. So that's a good call. It's exactly what the rule is supposed to do.
Can Gibson take advantage? Running a slip screen to 7. Trying to scoop. Has a block.
All it takes is one play.
Malachi Carter.
This whole game could change in one explosive play to get one of these guys out in the open space. I know that's easier said than done. I've been saying that for basically a whole half.
You called for the slip screen here as we're under 3:30. Carter with the reception. Quick throw again. Here goes for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech again. Forced out by Clary. Malachi Carter 2 times in a row, gain of 12.
We said this a little earlier. Get the ball in the perimeter quickly to your playmakers. See if you can get them to pop a big one here out in space, because nothing is working between the tackles. And you can't let the quarterback just sit in the pocket.
So it seems as if Chip Long and the Jackets are content. Quick throw to see if Gibson can get into any rhythm. Play fake. Sets his feet. Taking a shot. Incomplete.
He's holding his arm. He's holding his arm down the sideline. Well, that's what it looked like from here. We'll have to see the replay here.
Tried to go to Carter for a 3rd time. Anthony Johnson on coverage. Here's the replay, Lewis.
Yeah, let's take a look. He's just trying to go up the field. I think actually it may have been Carter who was. They were holding hands, going down the sideline. I mean, who initiated that is what could be up for debate.
So 3:03 left here in the 4th quarter. Down a touchdown is Georgia Tech. Gibson a little bit of rhythm now to Nate McCollum. Sanker brings him down.
Officials timeout for an injury.
Injured Virginia player on the sidelines at Sanker, number 20. So their training staff will make their way over. Georgia Tech now. Little bit here, 6 yards, 7 yards there. They're only down a touchdown, 2:47 left, 3 timeouts. Sanker making his way off the field. We'll step aside for a minute. SVP, nothing we'd love more to provide you some offense. 3rd down, taking a shot. A lot of contact. There's the flag for PI intended for Leo Blackburn. Cone King on the coverage. Lewis, your
You know what?
You're what?
Look, if you're King, just watch here. Look, you have him under control. Right there. Turn your head to the field. Lean into him. Just ride him out of bounds. Because the ball, he has no shot to catch the ball. None. Look at where the ball lands. Just look back for the football. You can feel his body and just ride him out of bounds. If you keep looking at him and keep pushing on him, that's an easy pass interference. It's an easy pass interference.
The officials are discussing down at the 30. Some Virginia players are pointing back towards Georgia Tech.
There are fouls by each team. Personal foul, face mask, offense number 1, pass interference, defense number 9, the foul's offset, repeat third down.
Ooh. Do the whole thing over again.
And he does have a hold of it and pulls it at the end.
And Austin, that's a rare call, eh?
Well, it is, but it's a good get because you don't see offense face passing on the offense very often, so it's a good call.
Yep.
So third down again. Going to play this over. Gibson, time, across the field. Caught, McCollum. Get the first down. 3 timeouts left for Georgia Tech. 2.5 to play. Remember, they got the ball back after a 15-yard leaping penalty called on Virginia's special teams. Gibson again. Boys, he's starting to get a little bit of confidence. Slings it to Dylan Leonard. And another flag is on the play.
Illegal touching, offense number 2, 5-yard penalty, loss of down, it's second down.
So illegal touching on Dylan Leonard.
We can go back and see the formation.
Which means he wasn't lined up correct. It would have been 19 yards.
Yeah, was he covered up as the end man on the line of scrimmage? Yep, he is. He is. You see the man, you see the third receiver on the boundary is on the line of scrimmage. That's exactly right.
So now 2nd and 15, approaching 2 minutes. There goes Hall. Hassan Hall finally gets some space. Pushed out of bounds by King. First time we've really seen him get loose, and we've got 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Palakire missed the tackle. Tempo. Pressure. Gibson goes down. Nick Jackson, the Atlanta native, out for Georgia.
First to half. It would be 30 seconds.
You know, you figure if you're Virginia, you just can't let Zach Gibson just sit back there and get comfortable and get into this rhythm and start moving. Let's make him make quick decisions under duress. Now, what's your play call on 4th and 11? Situation, you got to go to your playmakers. This can't really just be about scheme. This has got to be about scheming up your best playmaker. Who's going to be that guy you're going to try and get the ball to here? I've said all night, I believe it's 8. I believe it's Nate McCollum. You got to get the ball to him. Malachi Carter has come up with some big plays, too. You see McCollum, number 3, in the trip set at the top of the screen. You're going to see here.
Gibson had his man, and Malachi Carter can't hang on. Drops have plagued Virginia Tech.
You see McCollum going across the field, going down the middle of the field. That ball hits him.
Gonna get the ball back. Have 2 timeouts for Georgia Tech, 3 for Virginia. With 1:46 left, 2 timeouts for Georgia Tech, 3 for Virginia. Gibson gave him the opportunity on that drive.
He sure did. Look, he heated up at the time they needed it to the most. And the playmakers started making plays. And look, you got to give Chip Long, the offensive coordinator, credit. He had the right plays dialed up for what Virginia was presenting to him.
So that's Brown. Georgia Tech's going to have to burn their timeouts. The defense has been stout all night. Still an opportunity for the Rambling Wreck, and Virginia could put this thing away.
Charge timeout. Georgia Tech, their second of the half.
We'd like to take a moment to honor a member of our college football family whom we recently lost. Sam Cotterell was a camera operator with ESPN for 15 years. We just worked with him 3 weeks ago in BYU. Sam has worked on college football, NBA, WNBA, and the NHL draft. He is survived by his father and grandfather. Sam had a big heart and was a true friend to many, and he will be missed. We lost Sam at 38 years old. As everyone knows, in this industry and most, when you're on the road with people a part of your crew, it is a family. So our thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely.
Everybody that is connected to him.
Heartbreaking.
So a minute 40 left. Can Armstrong and Virginia put this thing away? Gain of 3. This will be the Jackets' final timeout as we now take a look at the record-breaking touchdown pass for Brennan Armstrong with our playbook presented by Verbo Vacation Homes. This one is Dontayvion Wicks. This is a big individual effort.
It's one of the best throws that Brennan had all night long. I mean, he laid that ball in there perfectly, got it up and down over the defender, and then Wicks went to work with a nice run after the catch. Look, he has had a tremendous, tremendous career coming off of a huge 2021, trying to get his confidence, trying to get his grip and his grasp on this offense. Tony Elliott trying to put his stamp on this university and have these guys buy into his way and his philosophy and his style of play, which is much different than what these guys were used to a year ago. And they have fought and scrapped. This defense has stepped up to the challenge, and Brennan has made the plays when needed to.
Still have football to play, 3rd and 5. Armstrong forced out of the pocket, and he's going to take a big hit. That was Ace Ely and Brooks. So it's going to be 4th down. They'll most certainly let the play clock run all the way down and take all 40 seconds. And use one of those 3 timeouts.
If you're Virginia, look, there's a lot of positives to take out of this game, especially from a defensive perspective. Now, you have to keep it all in context, right? Because you weren't going up against Georgia Tech's #1 weapon. But Tony talks a lot about how they play, how they respect the opportunity to compete and be on this football field. And you have to give his defense credit. You have to give his football team credit for the way they competed. If you're Georgia Tech, everything changed when Jeff Sims went out of that game.
Yep.
It changed for us. It changed for the people watching. It changed for Georgia Tech, most importantly, on the field. Because he's a special talent. It changed the entire dynamic of this game. But give Virginia credit. They have continued to battle and found a way to put themselves in position to win this game.
Delay a game. Offense.
You see Sims
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
The first half.
The defense has elected to decline the 10-second subtraction. By rule, the clock will start on the snap.
You see Georgia Tech, why this one was so important, because despite everything they've been through in their 3-3 season, 2-1 in division play, 1 game behind North Carolina. The big one in the Atlantic on Saturday, Clemson and Syracuse. And Virginia down here at 0-3. Not much to speak of in terms of a chance to win the Coastal. But here's 4th and 11. And now Elliott will use one of those 3 timeouts after taking the delay game.
Virginia, their first of the half.
Both of these coaches,
it will be 30 seconds.
On it in the open. They're in their first year in different situations. Tony Elliott was the hired first-year head coach. Brent Key is in his first year, is taking over for Jeff Collins, who was fired into his 4th season to try to establish something. And so they're both doing the same thing, Lewis, or at least trying to. Establishing a standard with which they believe both of these football programs should be at.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tony's trying to do it with an offense in particular that had a lot of success last year, so he has to kind of unprogram them, deprogram them, and reprogram them to do the things that he likes to do, which is hard to do, and he's admitted that. But they came out tonight and competed their rear ends off, which I'm sure pleases him. When you're talking about Coach Key, look, things changed when the quarterback went out. There's just no way about it. The defense played its tail off and gave them multiple chances to kind of do something with this.
Remember, we've had a blocked punt. All 11 are showing at the line of scrimmage, 2 back off. 44 seconds left. Here comes the pressure. Good job by Virginia's special teams. The one time you needed a Pro V1 to give you some backspin, it rolls into the end zone.
You got a shot. You still have time. You got a shot.
36 seconds left.
You got a shot.
No timeouts. The best we had seen Zach Gibson all night was that prior drive. He had the drop on 4th down by Malachi Carter.
If you're Virginia, no dumb penalties, no roughing the passers, no illegal hands to the face, no pass interference. Play everything top down. Don't let anybody get behind you.
And if you're Gibson, no sacks. There's been 8 of them tonight. So the dump to Hall. Clock will stop to reset the change because of the first down. Sanker brings him down.
Ready to go.
Clock starts. Hall trying to get to the sideline. Can't do it. Clock's going to run. Got to hustle.
That's a nice tackle by Nick Jackson, not letting him get to the sideline and get out of bounds.
Down to 10 seconds. This will be the final play of the game. Gibson looks downfield. And he's just going to run it out of bounds to end the game. Virginia snaps their 3-game losing streak, and Tony Elliott gets his first ACC win as head coach of the Virginia Cavaliers.